everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Life with Lisa A. Today we're going to be making homemade chicken cacciatore. You make whole chicken cacciatore. Traditionally you make it on top of your stove top, and you do it that when you use peppers and onions and celery. Today we're going to be doing a shortcut. We're going to bake it in the oven, and I'm going to be using cans of stewed tomatoes, which has your peppers, your onions, and your celery in it. And it's delicious. And you chop up little potatoes in it, which I'm going to parboil so they cook. You know, by the time my chicken's cooked, the potatoes are definitely cooked and they're gonna be cut small. So, all right, let's get to it. And I'll tell you what, it's a delicious meal, and it's our authentic chicken cacciatore. Guys, onto the chicken cacciatore. This is what I do: is I cut my potatoes in small, bite-sized pieces, thin pieces. Okay, and this is my onion because I put onion in my chicken cacciatore. So the bottom line is, why do I do that? Because if you cut them bigger and you don't parboil them, sometimes it takes a long time to cook the potatoes down in the oven. And then your chicken's done before your potatoes are done. So I don't like that. So I take a shortcut. I just parboil them, get them a jump start, and then I stick them in. And just so you know, your traditional chicken cacciatore recipe, you make whole chicken cacciatore, but your chicken cacciatore should be cooked in on top of the stove, either in a deep frying pan, like a big deep one, like maybe 4 inches deep, or you could use your Dutch oven type pot. You would brown your chicken on, you could flour it, you don't have to, but you would brown your chicken, and then you would put a little wine, a little chicken stock, your tomatoes in there. And if you want, your onions, your celery, your peppers, if you were putting mushrooms in, you would add mushrooms, but you would cook it on the stovetop. I do mine in the oven. So with all that being said, let's get back to the potatoes. This is ice cold water. I took my potatoes, I washed them, got all that dirt off them. Right? So now that's ice cold water, and I'm going to salt it. You got to salt your potatoes. So let me see what I'm doing here. You got to salt them heavy. Okay. If you don't salt, in my opinion, okay, if you don't salt your potato water, you can never get that salt through the potato. You can put all the table salt you want on your potatoes. It kind of sits on that surface. It doesn't penetrate. It doesn't get through. So you have to always salt your water for grits, for potatoes, for pasta, for even when I do rice. I always salt my water so it penetrates the food I'm cooking. And I'll tell you what. Every time I make mashed potatoes, I'll add butter and your cream and your black pepper. More than really, I wish I could say 10 out of 10, but 9 out of 10 times I never have to add any extra salt because I put enough salt in my water and it just salts your potatoes. So this is what I'm going to do, and then I'll show you how I'm going to get the chicken ready. Okay, everybody, on to the chicken cacciatore. I'm using skinless, boneless thighs. I have 16 of them. Why? A, I want leftovers. B, I will freeze some, and C, I'm going to give some to my kids and their spouses. Okay, so anyway, with that being said, normally when I do this, I will use it with the bone. I'll get skinless, but with the bone, because bone, we all know, bone gives you flavor when it cooks. That's how you make your chicken stock, your chicken broth, right? With the bones, including beef. You want beef bones. But today, I'm in a little bit of a rush. Okay, because I knew I was going to be making it today. And my husband and I have an appointment tonight. So the bottom line is, I want this to cook quicker. Therefore, I'm going to be using boneless. Okay, I'm going to be using, I'm not sure if it's going to be 6 cans, but at least 5. 5 cans of stewed tomatoes. I don't want to dump them in yet. And 1 can of tomato sauce. Okay. I'm going to be using accia di pepe. They're arcini, but I call them accia di pepe. Okay, these. And I'm going to be having 2 starters tonight. I know, but some of you really, trust me, small little amounts tonight. This. And what does arcini di pepe means? It means small. It means tiny like a peppercorn. And actually, these are smaller than a peppercorn. This, my Locatelli cheese, which is your Pecorino Romano. You can see that right there, Pecorino Romano. No, you cannot substitute Parmesan Reggiano. Some bay leaves. Oop. I'll pick that up later. Bay leaf. You know, in hair school, if we drop something on the floor, we had to go sterilize it and get a brand new comb. And this is jumping ship. And when you get your license to be a hairstylist, when you're being tested, if you should drop something on the floor, if you pick it up and use it, you automatically fail. You can't use it. That's where you come prepared with a boatload of extras. But anyway, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder is what's going to go on the chicken. And guys, I'm going to be making, I know there's crazy videos out there for cinnamon buns, cinnamon rolls, what tastes like cinnamon bun. I promise you. And I saw this, you know, this guy says, oh my God, I got the world's best cinnamon buns. No, you don't, honey. Not until you tried mine. And I do. And I'm not floating my own boat, but I promise you, they taste just like cinnamon bun. If you like the cinnamon bun, you know, that chain, if you like their cinnamon rolls, you will love mine. They taste exactly the same, and that's not an exaggeration. I have 2 videos on my channel. One is just showing you the inside of the dough. It's like a little, I guess, 10-second snippet. The other one, I'm not sure if I show you the recipe or if I even show you the whole thing, but I will be making another video for that. And just real quick, you know what I told you? We're going to do that semi-homemade apple Danish with the crescent rolls and the cream cheese and the apple pie filling. Here it is. Look, this is delicious. It's set up a little bit. My husband couldn't wait. And I'm going to be giving this away. But this came out really, really good, guys. And with vanilla ice cream, it was delicious. I just wanted you to see that. If you want the recipe, I don't have it posted yet. But I will be posting it. So either I will put it on the bottom of this so you can get it, or just look for it. I'll name it Apple Danish, I think. So anyway, let me get back to business. So I'm going to just put my chicken in here, season it, and I'll be right back and show you. Hey everybody, I just seasoned the other side already. I thought I was filming, I was not. So I'm doing the other side now. I always season both sides, and so should you. And I just wanted to say, before I do more, when you, because I'm not using boneless, when you cook with the bone, you will have to cook this for about an hour to 45 minutes to 2 hours. You'll check your own oven. You know, you'll know when your chicken is when it's white and the juices run clear. But since I don't have the bone, I'm going to cook this about 375 for about 45 minutes. If I want to go 50, I'll go 50 minutes. It's not going to take 50 minutes. I know that for a fact. But I want it to stew, hence stew in the stewed tomatoes. Because that's what chicken cacciatore is. It stews in a tomato sauce with wine and chicken broth. So again, no bone. You do it for about 45 to 50 minutes. If your oven is off and you have to go a few minutes longer, that's fine. You know, you want to make sure it's cooked. But when you use the bone, please, that's when you go about an hour to 45 minutes to 2 hours. Okay. And I didn't want to confuse anybody because I don't think you heard me say this. I don't cook this in with my chicken. This is macaroni. It's pasta. I cook this on top of the stovetop in boiling water. Okay. I already have my potatoes I showed you earlier with the onions. I have them parboiling right now. So I'll show you what this looks like. Oh, I forgot to season this side. Okay, let's season this side. And I was saying, guys, because I'm a little heavy-handed on salt. Meat needs salt, right? See, your beef, your cows, and your chickens and your turkeys don't come seasoned. They don't come with salt, right? You have to season that. Otherwise, there's no flavor. All right, so let's do it. You have to have some kind of seasonings. Okay, and everything gets seasoned in layers. Okay, so I did salt. I did my pepper. Let's do some onion powder. Heavy, 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 heavy. Okay. All it is flavor, and it's not overpower. It does not overpower. I love garlic. I'm not putting any fresh garlic in this, so... Okay. Now, I'll show you 1 can of tomatoes. All right, hold on, because my one hand is dirty. I want to go wash that. Okay, so now both hands are good. Because this hand was never dirty, just my left one was. Okay, so I'm just going to give them a quick little break with my hands. Okay, just break them up with your hands. And there's peppers, and there's onions, And there's celery in this. So I'm just going to squeeze them through my hand. And I'm not afraid to pick this up if it touched the chicken. Because you know what? There's something called soap and water. You just want this to be broken up. And then I'm going to put bay leaf in here and a lot of locatelli cheese. A lot. I'll show you one more can. Can you see inside? Can you see the onions in there and the celery? Right there's the celery. There's peppers in here too. Okay. And you know what? This can splatter your walls or something you're wearing. So I try to do it close to inside the pan as possible. All right. I'm going to do this to the rest. And then I'm going to add some tomato sauce. And I'll show you what it looks like. Because I got to season that too. Guys, I used to use Del Monte. But I think they stopped making it. I had to take this out. See this? That I don't want in there. That's hard. Okay? And even right in there. If you have any of that, take that out. Especially that. Okay. Guys, I used 4 cans out of the 604. Now, here's the tomato sauce. And you know what, guys? These tomatoes, for some reason, and I've used Hunt's before because I've had to for the last couple of times. They seem really, really, really hard today. Really hard. So I don't know how they pack them. But I think I am, just for the heck of it, because the tomatoes are so hard. I may give it an extra 15 minutes in the oven just to cook them down and cook through them. They're not soft. I mean, they're soft, but not the way I want them. So, here's some tomato sauce. The whole point is you need to have tomato. I'm not going to add wine to this. I'm not adding mushrooms to this. You guys can. My mother does. I'm not adding any chicken stock. Actually, I should add a little chicken stock because I don't have the bones. You don't have to, so I'm not. So let's not forget I said chicken stock. You don't need to. So now, let me add the whole can. Because I got some macaroni, like I said, tonight. Okay, let's just add it. Okay. Now let's season this. So now we do pepper all over. Gotta season this. Onion powder. Garlic powder. If you don't like this much garlic, please use a heck of a lot less. But this is where your flavor is. Again, we like garlic. I'm not using fresh garlic. So please, definitely, if you don't want that much, you say, oh my God, Lisa, that's so much. Please use less. That's fine. And now comes the locatelli cheese. This is 1/4 cup right here. I'm going to be using a heck of a lot more than that. So now we're up to a 1/2 cup. Now we're up to, and I already moved my apples way back when, before I started, because I didn't want the chicken juices to splatter. This is 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to do a tad more, and then I'm going to mix it. I'm going to smell it, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to just mix everything now with the chicken, and once the potatoes and the onions are done, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to season the potatoes and the onions with the garlic powder, onion powder, a little pepper, maybe a tad of salt. I don't know. Mix it all together. Then I'll throw in about 3 bay leaves. Okay. Let's just add salt, because I forgot to add some salt. Let's add the salt to the gravy. Okay. Not too much salt, because the locatelli cheese is salty. And I caved. I had to. I have to add a little broth to this chicken. This is low sodium chicken broth. I have to. Just a little bit, guys. Even if it's 1/4 of a cup. Just to help it out a little bit. Why? Because I don't have the bones. And I would never use a bouillon because they're too salty. But in here. But anyway, okay. So that's all I wanted to show you. I did use a sprinkle of that broth. All right, guys. I'll be back. Okay, guys. I just strained my potatoes. And I just want to show you this with the fork. Let me move this out of the way. If I can. Without making too much of a mess. Squeeze this in here. You don't want this to be where you're ready to mash potatoes. Okay, you're not mashing the potatoes, but you see how easily that fork went through, but there's still a little give. That's what you want. This is how you want to parboil them when you're doing it, especially for 45 minutes. And I know I'm going to maybe go a little longer because these tomatoes are hard, I said. So let's just get to it because I know I don't want to ramble. All right, so here we go. Okay. And, you know, so now you can see when you add all that garlic and that locatelli cheese and stuff like that, I am still going to add a little bit more garlic. And you guys, you can use less if you wish, but you know, we're just going to go a little garlic like that. A little pepper. A little pepper, because potatoes, like I said, like pepper. We will do a little bit more salt, just a little bit, even though I shouldn't have to. That's it, because I already salted my water. And onion powder. We could do a decent amount of onion powder. So we want to just bring home that onion flavor as well. Okay, guys, I'm just going to go get a spoon because I dare not use my hand today. Now, guys, like I said, because I don't have my big pots and pans and everything with me, I had a metal one, you know, those disposable ones, which was deeper than this, but it had a little pinhole in it. So we're going to make this all fit, and it will fit, but I'm going to need 2 hands. But this is what you do. You just mix it all together. Okay, you just mix it all together. If I have to add more of the stewed tomatoes, I will. But all right, I'll be back. And in case you're wondering, I used 1 large onion, and I had a 5-pound bag of potatoes, and I used a little bit more than half the bag of potatoes. And again, this is for tonight. I'm going to keep it in the refrigerator for a few days, have it again for leftovers, put some in the freezer, and give some to my kids and their spouses, other than my daughter because she's not in the state. So, with that being said, I'm going to add more stewed tomatoes. I can see I want to do that, but I'm not going to season it because there is enough seasonings in here. But I am going to break it, okay? Okay, guys, I put, bay leaf is very strong, so I may just take out this little baby guy. I don't know. But you have to count how many bay leaf you put in. If I have a broken one, I won't use it, and I try not to break them. You don't want to, God forbid, if this breaks apart and you put this in your mouth and you swallow it, you could choke to death on it. And that's not an exaggeration. So when you work with bay leaf, please be careful. Try not to break it and know where you're putting it. And when you're done cooking, make sure if you put 4 in, count 4. If you put 2 in, count 2. And if one breaks during cooking, find the other half. So, okay, I'm just going to push this in now. Oh, don't want to break it too much. Just want this getting down in here. I think I may just put this other little baby guy in. So that's 5. And I'll tell you what. During cooking, I mean, you can smell this. You can smell bay leaf. If you think it's going to taste too strong, by all means, you could definitely take it out. Because, again, it has a strong flavor. Okay, there you go. But stick it in the oven, 375. And I'm going to check it after 45 minutes. Because my only concern is, not the chicken, not the potatoes, but those tomatoes. Because they are hard. And if I have to go extra 5, 10, 15 minutes, we will. Okay, guys, I'm just going to show you real quick. This is just for that little cacio e pepe macaroni. It's not that much water. You can see it's less than half. So, but we're still going to salt it. It's cold water. You got to make it taste like the sea. And that's good. I'm going to bring that to a boil now. So, because I've got my chicken in the oven. All right, bye. And guys, you know what? Since I have no use for this right now, and it's about 3/4 of a can, right? I'm just going to put this in an ice cube tray and fill up like little like the ice cube trays in those little cubes, and then pop them out, put them in a Ziploc baggie, and you can put this in stews, you can put this in tomato sauces, you could just do a lot of stuff with this, so I'm not going to waste it. I cook my macaroni, you know, for dinner tonight, the chicken cacciatore. Like I just said to my husband, when you think about it, so I was speaking to him, I used 80 ounces, because each one of those cans, and I used 6 cans, was 14 ounces, about 15 ounces, and that's like 80 ounces. So when you think about it, so when you use that salt, and that garlic powder, and that locatelli cheese, that's not a lot for all of that cans of tomato, which makes a nice saucy, stewed gravy, so it's really not. But this is what we're working on now. This has 5 more minutes to go. The chicken's just going to be coming out of the oven, and it'll be done around the same time. So I want this to have some of that gravy on it. All right. Guys, it just came out of the oven. And I know I have to get 5 bay leaves out. There's one. I know there's one up here too. And when this sits, this will get thicker. Because don't forget, you have potatoes in here. And the potatoes do release a starch. And this is going to get thicker. Okay? And my macaroni just came off there. So let me first get some of this right into the macaroni. Because you don't want it to stick together. Okay. Just a little bit. Just so it stays wet. Okay. And now, yes, I am. I'm going to add a little Cacciatore cheese. Hold on. To the macaroni. You have to. Okay, and let me see. This is clean that up like that. Okay. Give it one more stir. Okay. Steam's coming off both of them. I love it. So, I'll dish it out. And oh my guys, seriously. Oh my God, it smells amazing. Wait, forever fire. My husband took this out of the oven for me, and he put the pot holders on the very hot burner that I just took the macaroni off, and they turn completely black and they start smoking. So anyway, with that being said, and again, if you were doing this on the stove top, you would use crushed tomatoes, and you would use even tomato sauce with that as well. But since this was in the oven, I'm not. So let me just dish out my husband's. I'm going to do a little macaroni. Okay. Give him 2 pieces of chicken. I'm going to put a little extra gravy on this. And I'm going to give him some potatoes. But guys, I promise you, this smells amazing. And I know for a fact, so I've been making it, my mother's been making it before I was born. So, and I've been making it since I've been a teenager on my own. So I know for a fact how amazing this is. And again, it's True Blue. It's authentic Italian chicken cacciatore. Other than minus the mushrooms and minus the way I cooked it, you know, not on the stovetop, but the flavor is there. There you have it. Homemade, let me put the light on. Homemade chicken cacciatore. Okay, and this is going to dry up as it sits there. And I'm not going to put too much gravy on my macaroni in the pot because it's just going to soak it up. I mean, eat it up. Just like when you do chicken broth or the noodles, it soaks it all up. So I always keep my rice and my noodles separate. But there you go. I don't think I need to zoom in, and this is hot. But, okay. And yes, we will enjoy. If you make it, you enjoy too. You know, I have to. You've got to give it one more little sprinkling of Cacciatore. Okay. Guys, just one more time. One more close-up. Well, this would be a close-up. But I guess somebody has to take a bite. Okay. Guys, I apologize. This is how my video was turning into 30-minute videos because I was done. I just wanted to show you before I left how nicely this gravy, this tomato sauce, just sets up. You can see how thick it is getting. And it's going to get thick because of the potatoes in there and their starch, as I said. But I just wanted to show you how nicely it's setting up. I just love it. And it is so delicious. Please try this. I promise you it is yummy. And it is just delicious. It's traditional. It's authentic. And it just has a yummy, 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 yummy flavor. Truly, it does. And if you like this, I'm going to be doing another video where I take sausage, peppers, and onions, and potatoes. And I use crushed tomatoes, and I do it in a slow cooker, a crock pot. All right. Let me go eat dinner. All right, bye. I'm going to try this. Okay, so the chicken cacciatore. I got potato, cheddar peppers, and I have chicken. And it's hot because you see the steam. Oh my God. This is one of the best things I ever make. It is really good. It is a die for. I promise you, it is one of the best chicken cacciatore you'll ever make. And again, my grandmother was a good cook. And these are like family recipes passed down. And we don't, you can see, I don't have measurements. We just eyeball everything. We pick it up, we smell it. And that's how we gauge it. And that's how we're taught from a young age. But oh my God, please make this. It is delicious.